Gather round, O sons and daughters of the land, come closer. For today, under the warm gaze of the sun and the wisdom of the ancestors, we journey back in time to a land where the trees whispered secrets and the drums spoke of destiny. In the heart of the Yoruba Kingdom, where the earth is red and the spirits of the past walk among the living, there rose a queen, not of ordinary birth, but of divine purpose. Her name was Queen Moremi Ayọade, fierce as thunder, wise as the river, and graceful as the morning dew. This is not just her story, it is our story. A tale of strength, of mystery, of honor, and a legacy that still lives in our hearts today. Sit still, open your ears, and let your soul listen, for the tale is about to begin. In the days when the sun danced to the tune of the talking drum, and moonlight bathed the villages in silver stories, there was a kingdom hidden between the sacred hills of Oyo and the whispering forests of Ojebu. It was the kingdom of Ile Adun, the land of sweet rest. And ruling this great land was Queen Moremi Ayọade, the one whose name made thunder bow and the river still. Moremi Ayọade was no ordinary woman. Her eyes glowed like twin lanterns of the ancestors. Her voice carried the authority of Obatala and the gentleness of Osun. Born with the mark of destiny on her forehead, she was raised in the ways of wisdom, trained in war, and guided by the old priestesses who whispered secrets from the oracles. They said she was born during the festival of Oya, in a storm so fierce it tore the roof from her mother's hut, yet left the baby untouched. Elders declared, this one is not ordinary, she is a child of prophecy. From the age of 7, she could recite the lineage of every king before her. At 10, she defeated 3 older boys in a wrestling match. By 12, she was already sitting among the council of elders, her voice carrying the weight of mountains. The people called her Adesewa, the crown that shines. Her father, the late King Orisagba, taught her to wield the staff of truth. Her mother, Iya Olowo, taught her the secrets of healing and midwifery. She was as strong as the lion of Badan and as tender as the first rain in planting season. In a world where thrones were often won by war and men, Moremi's path was carved by the gods themselves. By the time she'd ascended the throne, Ile Adun was a broken land, plagued by rival chiefs and hungry spirits of greed. But this queen, oh this queen, she turned the tide like the river that carves its way through rock. She built schools under the Iroko trees. She taught the daughters to read the moon and the sons to speak truth like the ancestors. She sent warriors not to conquer, but to protect. She planted yams in the hearts of villages and harvested peace. The enemies who once laughed at the thought of a woman king now sent tribute wrapped in silence. But her rule was not of fear. No, it was of deep understanding, like a mother who knows which child is lying just by how the child breathes. Her council was made of warriors and weavers, hunters and herbalists. She listened to all, from the youngest child to the oldest priest, and always ended her speeches with the words, "Let peace be stronger than pride." She reformed the market laws so women traders could thrive without fear of oppression. She ordered the clearing of sacred roads, blocked by old feuds. She invited scholars from Ife and dancers from Ekiti to blend wisdom with joy. Festivals became teachings, rituals became celebration. She understood that the soul of a people is not only in what they believe, but how they rejoice. It is said, that she once walked into a battlefield, barefoot and unarmed, and with a single proverb, caused two warring factions to lay down their spears and embrace. When two brothers fight over land, it is the enemy who builds his house there, she said. And silence fell, and peace rose. Under her reign, festivals blossomed like hibiscus after rain. The drums beat not for war, but for weddings. The land prospered. It was said that even the spirits danced on the rooftops at night in gratitude. But as surely as the sun must set, a day came when Queen Moremi Ayọade was seen no more. It was on the eve of the Elubo festival, when the stars winked curiously and the air was thick with song. She had gone alone to the sacred grove of Orunmila to pray, dressed in white, bearing kola and honey. The guards waited, the drums paused, the villagers sang softly, but she never returned. They searched the rivers, the hills, the caves. They called the babalawo, they beat the drums of summoning. Nothing. The grove was searched by the most powerful hunters and priestesses in the land. Not a trace of her footprints remained. The white cloth she wore didn't flutter from the trees. The kola nuts remained uneaten, and not even the ants touched the honey. The air in the grove was still, as though the gods themselves had swallowed her whole. Some said she was taken by the ancestors, chosen to sit at the right hand of Olorun. Others whispered that she had transformed into a white eagle, flying over the land to watch and protect in secret. One hunter swore he saw her reflection in a forest stream years later, dressed in palm fronds, smiling. The people of Ile Adun wept for days, and the sky wept with them. Rain fell for 7 nights. The elders declared her disappearance a sacred mystery, a message from the heavens. A festival was created in her to honor, the Ranti Adesewa, the Day of Remembrance. No crown was placed on another head for a full year, and so began the mystery that wrapped around her name like the mist on Mount Sango. Her throne was never burned, never replaced. It remains even today, covered in white cloth, surrounded by fresh palm leaves, and prayers whispered by hopeful hearts. Till today, in Ile Adun and beyond, her name is still spoken with the reverence of prayer. Mothers tell their daughters, be like Moremi, bold as the leopard, wise as the tortoise. Elders chant her Oriki during naming ceremonies. Griots sing of her courage under the moonlight, and children learn of her strength with their first stories. In every village square where the talking drum beats, in every moonlit gathering where the old ones speak in parables, her story lives. When a young girl speaks boldly in council, the elders smile and say, she carries Adezewa's voice. When justice is served swiftly and fairly, they whisper, a spirit is here. It is believed that she appears in dreams to women in distress, speaking words of hope and lighting paths with ancestral wisdom. The high priestesses of Osun still pour libation to her spirit before beginning sacred rites. At the annual Iranti festival, women dressed in white sing her name with trembling joy, their voices rising like incense. Her legacy flows like the ocean river, calm, nourishing, but powerful. Farmers say their crops grow better when her story is told on planting day. Hunters leave a kola nut at the foot of the Iroko tree, invoking her protection before entering the forest. Children play a clapping game that ends with the words, Adesewa never dies. She multiplies. Even in the busiest parts of Lagos, painted murals show her likeness, her regal stance, her defiant eyes. She is no longer just a queen of a hidden kingdom. She's a spirit, a symbol, an everlasting ember in the Yoruba soul. From the earthen walls of village compounds to the polished canvases of city galleries, the spirit of Queen Moremi Ayọade breathes through art, song, and dance. Her story has leapt beyond the tongues of elders to become the heartbeat of modern creativity. Painters splash her image across city walls, her crown not of gold, but of flame. Writers pen poems about her in both Yoruba and English, calling her the Lioness of Legacy. Young girls in Ibadan perform stage plays in her name. Dancers in Abeokuta spin in white cloth to honor her mystery. Even in digital spaces, her voice echoes. A film student in Nefe made a short movie about her, and it won hearts across continents. The queen who vanished, they called it, and in each frame her strength was not in sword or throne, but in wisdom, justice, and love. Modern women leaders, from market queens to senators, often invoke her name. If Moremi ruled with fire and compassion, why not I, they say, drawing from the well of her strength. Feminist scholars in Nigerian universities teach her story as a cornerstone of African womanhood and power. Her tale addresses today's struggles, women finding voice, communities choosing peace, and truth triumphing over pride. Her example lights the path for a new generation, where tradition meets tomorrow. The queen is no longer just a tale. She's a mirror, a reminder, a living rhythm in the drums of culture, calling every daughter to rise and every son to remember. The elders say to forget a queen is to lose a path in the forest. That is why, even now, the name of Queen Moremi Ayọade is carved into the spirit of Ile Adun and etched in the hearts of the Yoruba people. Her throne, never broken, never sold, sits in the sacred hall, wrapped in cloths of red, white, and deep blue, like a sleeping lioness that still breathes. At every Oranti Adezewa festival, children recite her deeds before the town, women reenact her trials in masked dances, and elders pour palm wine on the earth in her memory. Her story is not just remembered, it is lived. History may rest in books, but legacy dances in the bones. Her life reminds us that greatness is not always loud, and that leadership wears many robes: wisdom, courage, sacrifice. In a world too quick to forget, her story roots us like the baobab, unshaken by wind. So let her tale be more than a tale. Let it be a seed. Let it rise in us, in every act of courage, every word of justice, every woman who refuses to be silent. Let the talking drums carry her name to unborn ears. Let her throne remain not only in Ile Adun, but in our hearts. For as long as the moon returns and stories are told by firelight, Queen Ayọade shall reign. So let her tale be more than a tale. Let it be a seed. Let it rise in us, in every act of courage, every word of justice, every woman who refuses to be silent. Let the talking drums carry her name to unborn ears. Let her throne remain, not only in Ile Adun, but in our hearts. For as long as the moon returns and stories are told by firelight, Queen Ayọade shall reign. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share. God bless you.